Today I'm going to be talking about the asexual spectrum, or the ace umbrella. Upon first learning about asexuality, a lot of people assume it to be a binary where you're either asexual or you're not, allosexual. But as with a lot of things we assume to be binary, those aren't the only two options. The main two identity labels that come up when talking about the asexual spectrum are gray-asexuality, or greysexuality, and demisexuality. People who identify as gray-asexual, or gray aces, just identify somewhere in between asexual and allosexual. There are a lot of different reasons someone might identify as gray-asexual. They might do so because they rarely experience sexual attraction, because they might have experienced sexual attraction but they're not really sure, or just because they have a non-normative experience of sexual attraction compared to a lot of the population. Demisexuality can be seen as a subtype of gray-asexuality because demisexual people only experience sexual attraction to people they've formed a close emotional connection to. A lot of people hear about this and say things like, "Isn't that just normal? Doesn't that mean you're just not being a slut?" First of all, don't slut shame on my channel. A lot of demisexual people find hookup culture really difficult because there's no way of knowing if you're going to eventually be attracted to someone. While forming a close emotional bond is a requirement for sexual attraction, it doesn't mean that a close emotional bond guarantees sexual attraction. For people who aren't on the asexual spectrum, it's a pretty normal occurrence for you to be sexually attracted to people of the gender you're into. For people who are completely asexual, that never happens. And for people who are gray asexual, they have no idea how much or how often it's going to happen. They might experience sexual attraction a couple times a year, or they might only be attracted to a few people in their lifetime. This doesn't mean that they just have higher standards or are being picky about what partners they have. It's a matter of attraction. Even people in close committed relationships who are attracted to each other in plenty of other ways might not experience sexual attraction to each other, and you can't force that. If you think you might be asexual or somewhere on the ace spectrum, awesome. It's okay if you don't know right away what you identify as, and it's okay if you change your mind. With new life experiences, you might gain more information, so it's completely okay if you start off identifying as asexual and move to somewhere else on the asexual spectrum later. It's hard to know what sexual attraction is if you're not sure you've felt it before, and there's also no way of knowing if you're going to feel it in the future. But if you do identify as completely asexual, that's fine. You don't have to take into account what might happen in the future, just like straight people don't have to take into account what might happen if someday they're attracted to the same gender. And because I'm a nerd, I'm going to end this on a graph. Avon is one of the biggest websites for the asexual community. A few years ago, they took a sort of census to figure out what their members identified as. As you can see, the majority do identify as completely asexual, but gray asexuals and demisexuals do make up a large part of the population. So if you do identify somewhere on the ace spectrum, you're not alone. Hopefully I was succinct in this video. I didn't expect this to be a longer one. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more asexual videos for the rest of Asexual Awareness Week. I hope you all had a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.